Brittany.
Hi,
We are
Shannon.
planning to go to Africa this summer,
Mhm.
so we are doing research. So, what do you find?
Yes, so I found something that we need to look out for and we can teach people when we're there is a parasite called dracunculiasis, an infection known as guinea worm disease caused by a parasite. So this parasite lives in water, it lays its eggs, and then those eggs get into the human skin.
Oh, the guinea worm, I know it. It's a long straight line worm, is it right? So
That's
the male worm is very short. The female worm is up to 1 meter. Is
So
correct?
long, yes. So a long thread that's up to a meter long. This is what it looks like.
How the patient look like if they have the disease?
Yes, so you'll see 90% of the time it's on the foot or the leg, and there'll be a red blistered spot, and you'll actually see the worm coming out of that area where the blister is. And it's very painful for the patient as well. And you might see a secondary infection.
Okay, so how the disease is transmitted?
So, like I said, the worm lays its eggs in the water, in unclean water, and those get drank by humans who drink the unclean water. It goes into their body, and the egg turns into the worm. And then that worm will come out of the skin, and if that person goes back into the water, the worm will lay eggs again, and it starts
It's a
cycle all over.
Is a disease like many commonly find it?
Yes, so there's 13 countries that it's recognized in now still. Um, Mali, Chad, the Sudan, Ethiopia, it's still found there, but basically it's found all over Africa in rural villages where water sources are very contaminated.
Oh, then how can we prevent the disease? Like how we like as travelers how we have to be aware of this?
Yes, so when we go, we want to make sure we only drink filtered water and that we don't go into contaminated bodies of water as well. And we can also teach people if you have the disease, don't go in any bodies of water, don't go in the water. And we make sure that they get the worm out and then tell them they need to have filtered water as well. So we can help them with that and bring filter tablets and those types of resources to clean water.
Wow, I know it. So we need to bring our own clean water.
Yes, yes. So how do you guess that it's diagnosed?
I think it's very straightforward because
Yes.
if you see the worm emerge from the body, you can diagnose it. Is that correct?
Exactly.
And also, I think you can, if necessary, you can add some cold water to the ulcer and take 1 drop of water to the under the microscope. You can see the larva.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that worm is already going to lay eggs, and you'll see it if you just clean the site with water and use that water under the microscope. Exactly.
Actually, when I do some research, I found that there is 2 tests called fast ELISA,
Yeah.
and another one is EITB. These 2 tests also can discover the infection up to 6 months earlier before the worm emerges.
Yeah.
But the thing, however, this because the test is complex and expensive, so it's not suitable for the like the village, the social economic challenged village where the disease mainly occurs.
Right.
So
They
and
don't have healthcare locally.
yes, and also this disease is not fatal, but the disability is a outcome. It's a common outcome. It's like the patient, when they have the disease, they have the infections, and when you are remove the worm, it's very painful. So at that time, disability may be up to 8.5 weeks. So it affects the like the school admission rate and also the agriculture like development of that area.
Very true.
Yeah. So, do you know how we treat it?
Yes. So at the site where the worm is at, you're going to use a round stick or something like that, and you're going to wind it up every day each time part of the worm comes out. It's a slow process because the worm doesn't come out all at once, but you keep winding it up so the worm won't retract back into the skin.
So it will take like days or 2 weeks to remove
The whole worm, because it's almost a whole meter long. Looks like you know a lot about it too. What organizations are helping eradicate it and survey this disease to eliminate it?
Oh, this disease, the guinea worm disease, is the first parasitic disease set for global eradication.
Oh, yeah.
So since 1980s, U.S. CDC started a campaign for eradication for the disease, and like various organizations involved in this eradication, like WHO, UNICEF, U.S. CDC, the Carter Center, the Bill and Melinda Foundation, Melinda Foundation, Gates Foundation, and some NGOs. So, who recommend the active surveillance is like for the active surveillance of the in a country or area have to be like the interrupt the disease transmission has to minimum for 3 years. So then it just prevent no missing case, no recurrence disease.
Yeah. So they take 3 years to look at
Yes.
the information.
So the right now the cases is very dramatically like decreased.
Yes. So in 1986, there were 3.5 million cases, and in 2016, there were only 25 cases. It's lowered so much.
Yeah, so the program, the guinea worm disease eradication program is called GWEP. This program like involves a group of national and international partners. They all works for the purpose to like eradicate this disease globally. So do you know how they surveillance?
I don't.
Yeah, because the WEP village volunteers are at the front line for the surveillance. They go to the volunteers go to the house by the house to house to find the disease. If once they find the disease, they report to the supervisor. The supervisor, like every month they report to their national court, national court headquarters. So the national headquarter like gets all the for all the information, all the data, and this data can be shared for by all the organizations we just mentioned about to for like it can be shared for all this information. Who is the like advocate for the like eradication, for technical like support, and for all like cooperative all the activities, and who is also the only organization like mandatory to certify a country is free of the disease.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah.
So the WHO has a lot of information.
Yes. So you when you go to the website, you can see all the data, all the information.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's great. Thank you for sharing too, Joey.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for listening.